All right. Today we are in Zen and Nirvana conversations with Madhuri Umale and Unnati Umale. They are internationally certified life coaches. Even I was not aware what exactly is life coaching. So I would like to hear it in your words exactly what is it that you do when you say you are a life coach.
So, life coaching is, just like that, how in sports you have coaches to guide you, to show your strengths, to show your weaknesses. Similarly, in life also, we do the same things. So,
Right.
we help people to achieve their goals. That is what. And I am into this space from past 14 years.
Okay.
And my heart work is in empowering women to tap into their own inner wisdom and then transform their lives
How
with joy
lovely.
and ease.
Very nice. Lovely to hear that. And over to you, Unnati.
So, having spent my early 20s in a lot of self doubt and anxiety, and struggling with that, and then later overcoming that and working through all of it, that was a extremely transformative process for me. And I think that inspired me to work, get into this work and help others who are going through the same sort of self criticism or self doubts, and help them grow and achieve whatever they want and whatever they want in their life, whatever they want to do in their life.
Correct.
And so that they can overcome their fears, overcome all of these doubts that they face.
And live an empowered life and a
Yeah, and live
healthy
whatever.
and happy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
however you want to describe your life as.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Live the life they want to live, the
Correct.
life that they've always wished.
So that gets me to my questions. Whenever I scroll things on Instagram, many times I have come across, say things like, I am abundant, I am happy. Later on, when multiple times I came across these, I got to know that these are called affirmations and they work positively for you. But sometimes, what happens is that you're not in that frame of mind. And since we are so unaware of how these are going to actually help us, or is it really going to work even or not? Sometimes, like my friends, they have disregarded it, saying that अरे कौन इतना बात करेगा कि और काम नहीं है क्या सो आई वांट टू नो दैट कितना स्ट्रेंथ है इसमें हाँ व्हाट इज द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ दीज अफर्मेशंस एंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली आर दे
So, very beautiful question, because affirmation is something which is very close to our work, and I use personally these affirmations, and I would like to tell you that whatever you think or say is an affirmation.
ओके
So, the whole day, what you're thinking and saying, you are affirming. So, it is not something different which you have to do. So, let's understand a little bit of psychology and the neuroscience behind it. So that where you have asked that why should we do,
Yeah.
whether it is important, so you will get the answer of it. So affirmations comes like they are thoughts, and in a day you will be surprised that we create 80 to 90,000 thoughts,
Okay.
and out of those 80 and 90,000 thoughts, 95% thoughts are automated. We are not aware of these thoughts that we are thinking. We get so engrossed in that loop that it goes automatic,
Correct.
and they are repetitive in the sense the next day also we create the same thoughts. We don't create very new thoughts every day. And then we say that why my life is not changing,
Correct.
because we are creating the same thing again and again. We are thinking same thing again and again. And the another thing is that in our brain there are two kinds of brain patterns. Okay, they are called neural circuits. So one is automatic negative thoughts, emotions,
Okay.
and another one is automatic positive thoughts and emotions.
Okay.
Right? So they both are there, but 75% thoughts are negative. And there is a reason why we think negative, which we will discuss later on. Okay, so affirmations, how it works. So when those negative thoughts are there, you get those negative feelings. And because of those negative feelings, then you take actions also according to it.
Correct. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So that is why when if we want some positive changes, it's not happening because it is not happening at the level of thoughts.
Correct.
So that is why we need to practice affirmation, which is powerful positive statements deliberately.
Right.
And that is how then you can make changes in your life.
So it's sort of, if neuroscientifically, if you speak about it, it's sort of, conditioning that you do to your neurocenters, which are responsible for these thoughts.
Exactly.
Right.
For example, what happens is we have got thoughts in our conscious mind. Consciously we are thinking. But there are certain beliefs and values which are there in our subconscious mind. Okay,
Correct.
which it gets developed between the age of 0 to 8 years. So our perception filter gets developed. And that is how we start perceiving things around us. Our values, our belief systems, everything gets developed during this time. So, for example, now in adulthood, I start saying that I am a millionaire. Immediately, it will not match to my values or my belief system, and then my perception filter will reject it. What are you talking?
Correct.
In your so many generation, nobody is millionaire.
Correct.
Right? This is what the inner voice will come, the little voice which we call. Right? So there comes the affirmation. Our mind is a learning machine. So if I say that I am learning to become a millionaire, so that will be more acceptable.
Right.
Yes. So then in that way I can say my affirmations.
Correct. To add to this, I feel we are, in times of impatience. The world wants quick results, and you do something today, you want to see the result tomorrow, else you want to reject it, you want to move to, something else. So there's a lot of lack of patience, and hence the lack of belief sometimes, apart from our inner voice telling us. There are times, right, when we overrule our heart and we do something. So in this case, is it wrong to believe that I start something today, from tomorrow I'm going to feel different, and I'm going to feel butterflies, and I can see rainbows, and I'm going to be in a happy space? See, this is what people think, and I think that's why the hesitation, that they don't understand that it's a time bound process. So what is, in your experience, how long should one practice certain kinds of affirmations? Say suppose I have my different problems and I come to you. I don't feel content. Okay, now this is something that you cannot really quantify. So I come to you and you tell me that, step by step we will go through these affirmations. So how long does it take in this case to actually see results, or, feel that yes, it's working for me?
Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to start believing it. Like I said, yes, I'm learning to become a millionaire. So that once you start believing it, then if it becomes your way of thinking in everything, I'm learning to do this, which will make me millionaire. Okay. So then it will become very easy for you to say that. Right? But what happens is, in a day, as I said, that we have got thousands of thoughts, we do affirmations only for say half an hour. And rest of the 23 and a half hours, what we are saying or thinking, that matters a lot. So if I say that go and say this affirmation, your life will change. And you are very religiously sitting there and for half an hour doing the affirmation. But rest of the 23 and a half hours, you are saying that how can it happen?
Right.
And there is a doubt. You're not believing it. And so then it doesn't work.
You know, very interestingly, I have read this somewhere and I always feel very intrigued by it. It was written that the mind is a very powerful, tool or whatever entity. So it can be your greatest enemy. So you need to train your mind to be your friend, to work in your favor. So वहाँ से मुझे सूझा कि yes, mindfulness is a term कि जो हमें use करना चाहिए. But I don't understand क्या है, how do you train your mind and how is this related? So you have any examples that you can share?
Yes, like you rightly said, if we have a friend, if we take a friend and if we don't treat the friend well, if the conversations that we are having with the friend are not nice, what if the conversations are mean and they are critical and they are full of hatred, do you think you will be able to have that friend for a long time?
Or that
do
friendship?
you think will a friendship for a long
Yeah.
time? Do you think the friend will come to you and will listen to you and will do would you have would you be able to have a good relationship with that friend? You wouldn't be. So
Correct.
same thing with the mind. So if in our minds, if in our self-talk is full of self-criticism, it's full of comparison with other people, making yourself feel lower, making yourself wrong, making yourself feel like that this is not bad about your own self. If you feel bad about your own self all the time, then I think the relationship with your mind, that's where you've lost the plot. And I think wahan pe hi your mind is not going to listen to you. You have no control over your mind, and then udhar hi khatam ho jata hai sab kuch. So I think that is a very nice point that you brought up, that it's a nice way to look at things, that become friends with your mind. And how do we become friends with our mind? We become friends with our mind. How do we in general become friends? Okay, when we get to know the person.
Correct.
Okay, when we listen to the person, we hear the person out. When we show compassion to the person, right? When we show compassion to our friend, that's when the relationship will grow. So if same thing with the mind, understanding ourselves, getting to know ourselves. Okay, where is this coming from? What is happening? If I'm feeling this, why am I feeling it? Okay, what is it? What are these thoughts that I'm thinking? Are they negative? Am I being too harsh on myself? Then be gentle on myself. Be more compassionate towards kind to myself. ये सारा चीज़ जब हम करने लगेंगे, so in mindfulness, what happens is you deliberately and quite consciously practice all of these things. Your self-talk needs to get positive. You need to be more in the present moment. Because when we are coming out of, say, if you're comparing yourself, or if you're coming out of self-hatred or something like that, you are always either in the past or maybe in the future. Either worried about the future, or maybe something that has happened in the past and you're judging yourself over it, right? So either ways, you're not in the present moment. So firstly, coming to the present moment. Secondly, being gentle towards yourself, not judging yourself, not judging whatever's going on in your mind. I think that is where anybody can start.
I think when you are talking about this, मुझे जब वी मेट की गीत
Yes.
याद आई.
मैं अपनी favorite हूँ.
Yes. And मैं अपने life की heroine हूँ. I think this is how we should think, right?
Yeah.
Be positive, think positive. I think only eat positive is left now. And sometimes when you are actually in a bad mood, it gets to you, it gets on your nerves कि कैसे, मतलब how can we practice this? हमेशा इंसान positive ही रहे, सब हो ही नहीं सकता. So whenever we say, positive and negative are, two sides of the same coin, and so is it with many other things. So how is it that, we deal with the positive and the negative whilst we are not putting it on the back burner? Because I personally believe whatever you put on the back burner, it becomes a bigger demon later on. It will consume you. So how is it that, how do we, go about this?
Okay. So I think positivity and negativity, they both go hand in hand. They are both just like, the duality in nature. Like there is lightness, there is shadow, there's light, femininity, feminine, masculine, whatever, all of these dualities that are there in the nature. So do we have positive and negative, and we can't ignore one or overdo another.
Correct.
We can't do that. And I think there is this, but in negativity, what we need to do is we need to understand what that is and why does it come. We are so quick in judging it. We are so quick in, rejecting it or else suppressing it, that it doesn't work. And it just comes up even more stronger. And I'll tell you why. There is a reason why this happens. So as humans, we are hardwired to focus on negative. And I think it's so strongly embedded in us, to think about the dangers, about the threats, about everything negative around us, that invariably that is how our DNA is made. The psychologists call this the negative bias.
I think ये husband wife में भी दिखता है ना, where both of them complain कि मैं 100 अच्छी चीजें करता हूँ,
but you remember the negative one. You will remember negative, because we are hardwired to remember that. Even if we'll remember the traumatic events and experiences of our life more, we'll recall them more often than the positive ones. We tend to remember the insults more than the praises.
Yes.
Anything, that positive event that happens in our life, we don't respond to it as strongly as we would respond to a negative event that happens. So all this, why does this happen? This happens because it's actually a part of our evolution. So since our ancestors, for them it was important to pay attention to threats and dangers. Okay, it was literally life or death for them. Yeah. So what used to happen is, so because of that, in our DNA and in our brains, it is, we are hardwired now to actually look at the negative, and look out for threats, look out for danger, and that's how we feel safe, because our brain wants us to feel safe. So that's why it's always on a lookout for some threat or some danger, some negative thing that is happening, just to protect us, right? But do we really need the protection now? Like as cave women and cavemen, we needed it. We needed to look out for danger. We needed to think. But do we need to think about these things now? Do we really need? Is the threat so imminent? It's not so much now. No, at least physical threats are not. At least in our surroundings, right? So in that case, what do we do? How do we then? But because we are hardwired already, it's in our brain to protect us, right? So I think it is important for us to understand, to become aware that whatever thoughts and negative thoughts that are coming up, they are coming to protect us, right?
So for instance, say that today I'm very sad, बहुत दुखी हूँ आज मैं. So instead of sinking या उससे तकलीफ होने के अलावा, if I go to think differently, am I supposed to think that ये मेरी भलाई के लिए ही हो रहा है, मेरी भलाई के लिए कुछ process हो रहा है जो maybe I'm not able to understand at the moment, but it is for the good.
Yes. So like all these emotions, and there are these three disabling emotions that we call them. One is anger, the second one is fear, and third is sadness.
So gussa,
Fear,
Dar.
dar, and dukh.
Dukh.
Yes,
Okay.
all of these, they are disabling emotions, but each of them, they come with a message for us, and a very important message. Each of them tell us something more about our own selves. Okay, so like a fear comes to protect us. We just spoke about it. Like, you know, a fear, a doubt, whatever, these kind of things, they come to protect us.
क्योंकि अगर डर नहीं रहेगा तो हम जाके ट्रेन के सामने खड़े हो जाएंगे.
Yeah, if we don't have a mind,
जंप करने को कोई डर नहीं है. अगर डर नहीं है तो सो फियर, डर, ये भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है.
Correct.
yeah, they protect us.
Yes.
If fear nahi rahega, to we won't be protected.
Correct.
Then anger comes to tell us that something, we are getting threatened about something, or else our boundaries have been violated. Something, or we've been insulted. Something has happened around us that should not have happened. And that is why that's when the anger comes up. So it's kind of telling
I think
you,
essentially वो हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं होता है तभी. That's why we get angry.
Yes,
ना
yes.
कि how did this happen?
और क्या होता है कि एंगर हम लोग ऐसे देखते हैं, बट देर इज समथिंग अंडरलाइंग under the surface which triggers this anger.
Correct.
It could be sadness, it could be hurt, it could be fear also.
Anger also propels us to go ahead and take some action.
Yeah.
That's a very important thing. I think taking action, it motivates us to take action.
But on that note, many times people say don't make decisions when you are angry.
Yeah, there is a way around it. Here we are just listening to the anger right now. We are not making the actions. We are not taking the actions, sorry. But first knowing what we are, otherwise, like, when people say that, when you're angry, don't do anything, what they are talking about is the impulsive actions that we take.
The
reactions
yes,
that we do.
Yes.
But here we don't want to do that, right? What we want to do is first. But you only react and you impulsively behave when you have not actually understood why you are feeling whatever you are feeling.
So I think
that
you
is
need
when
to
that
respond,
happens.
right?
Yeah.
Rather than react.
Yes.
Yes.
So to respond, there is a way, what you have to do. So once you get triggered, you have thoughts coming up in your mind, and then now these thoughts will develop. You'll get a feeling, you'll get an emotion in your mind. Now you understand why this emotion is coming. Is it anger? Identify it.
Correct.
Okay, identify this emotion. Is it anger? Is it sadness I'm feeling? Is it? And then there are many things, like, there's irritation. No, I'm feeling irritation. Irritation will come under anger. I'm feeling a little low. I'm feeling low in energy. That may come under sadness. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling stressed. That comes under fear. So there are these things, but it'll eventually lead you to either of these three things. Either anger, or else fear or sadness. Yeah. So like we said, fear protects us. Anger tells us that something has gone wrong, something that we did not want to happen, or either we've been violated, right? And sadness likewise comes to tell sadness comes whenever there is loss.
Correct.
It's a natural process. It's a natural, we feel sad whenever we feel some sort of loss or disappointment.
Correct.
Right? So, but also sadness is, I think of it like rain. It comes to nourish healing and growth. Like, it comes to bring more healing and more growth. If you don't go through sadness,
Correct.
you are somehow blocking your own growth.
Yeah.
This is what I believe in.
I think that's how they say. I'm not sure if I get it right, but you need to pass the darkness of the tunnel to see the light, na? They say. So, yes.
So इसलिए बोलते हैं ना कि if somebody is crying and if that's coming up for them, don't stop them. Let them cry. Let them
It's
feel
a part of healing.
Because once they have done that, once they felt it, then they can move to, healing themselves.
Correct.
That's...
So I think as much as we enjoy पॉजिटिविटी जितनी हमारे लिए अच्छी है, नेगेटिविटी रादर हैज अपना खुद का स्ट्रेंथ है उसमें, एंड यू हैव टू आई थिंक गिव इट अ बिग हग. पॉजिटिविटी को तो देंगे ही ना, इट्स अ गुड थिंग, बट नेगेटिविटी इज नॉट नेसेसरली बैड. आई थिंक ये जस्ट ऑपोजिट नेम्स दिए हैं इनको, राइट?
Yeah.
Like
It's they say, no, whatever you resist, it persists.
correct.
Yes. So if you resist
So,
these emotions,
emotions,
or
then it-
you know, or else you reject them, then they are going to, you disconnect yourself. You reject that part of you.
Correct.
If you reject a sadness or the anger or the fear, you're rejecting that part of you which is feeling that.
तो हमारा ह्यूमन अकाउंट तभी टैली होगा व्हेन वी हैव प्रोसेस द पॉजिटिव एंड द नेगेटिव. उसको वी कैन नॉट जस्ट हाइड इट समवेयर, इट्स गोइंग टू पॉप बैक.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, beautiful thought, a very different lens to look at negativity as such.
Yes.